Views on sport, back again with a quick little live. We got Arsenal, Inter Milan, or should I say Inter Milan, Arsenal. It's at the San Siro. It's tomorrow. Like my head's been all over the place as of late. I thought it was tonight. Um, so yeah, massive game. Like I said, it's away from home again. So this whole Arsenal playing away from home thing, we're gonna see it again. Obviously, after Inter Milan, we have Chelsea away from home. So you know what I mean? We just have to roll with the punches right now. In terms of injuries, in terms of the team lineup, I'm not sure. Sky Sports was talking about Bastoni being back for Inter. He's like an attacking fullback with a left foot. Um, 25 years old. He's basically like their creator. So they're tipping him to have a good game. In terms of Arsenal, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We've had no more news on the injury front, so we're gonna have to just wait and see who Arteta picks to line up. Um, I need to do. I should have done a bit more checking before I came on actually because I wanted to check where he was in the Champions League. Don't you feel like the Champions League's a bit weird now? I'm not quite sure if I like the new if I like the new format. I know obviously they're trying to turn it into the Super League, but I'm not sure that I like the format to be honest with you. Um, I don't know, like that same kind of tension that you had in the group stages last year and previous years, we don't have that anymore. You know, like if you play a big team like PSG, for instance, do you know what I'm saying? Or Inter Milan tomorrow at the San Siro, like in years gone by, if you would have lost that game or drew that game, you can look forward to the return leg. So it kind of gave the fixtures a little bit of spice. Um, but now it just don't feel like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect loads of people to be trickling in. I think my boy Hooks is streaming at the moment. Um, but I've got the time now, so I had to do what I got to do. But let me know. There's a couple of you in here right now, so like the stream, of course. But let me know, man. Inter Milan versus Arsenal predictions. Do you like the new Champions League format? Do you know what I mean? I think Aston Villa's first in like the whole league or something. I think. I haven't checked it. I haven't been as invested in the Champions League in terms of like where teams are and points and all them kind of things because it's just I don't know. It just feels different. Let me know what you think. Are you enjoying the new format? Do you think it might change back? Me personally, I think this is like the new Super League. Why is six afraid of seven? Go on, tell me, Steve. Something to do with eight or something. Big up, Steve. Couple of people passing through. Please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Steve says because seven, eight, nine. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Big yourself up, Steve, man. But let me know, guys. The new Champions League format. Are any of you concerned? Do any of you lot like it more than the old format? Um, do you know what I'm saying? I haven't really been as invested in it. Obviously, for Arsenal, it's a big game because we've been playing shit. So we need to try and get back to some form. I don't really see us winning this game, no, the way that we've been playing. I'd be surprised if we do, especially away at the San Siro. I'm not sure if Odegaard's going to play. I've heard some people talking about Odegaard, but until I actually see him there, until he's actually named, I'm not going to listen to any Odegaard talk. Um, and then what's he going to do? Is he going to tinker? We just have to see who's fit. Steve's giving me maths early in the morning. Allow me, bruv. Wonderful horseshoe. Arsenal on the downer now, especially after my team Newcastle beat them. Hey, big up Newcastle, man. And to be honest with you, like, big up Specs as well. Geordie Dread or Geordie, I can't remember the full name of his. It's my bad, innit? I'm a bit of a forgetful person, but big up Specs anyway. Another Newcastle fan. And we don't really have no beef with Newcastle. I mean, I know that we had the same kind of result at St James's last year, and a lot of Arsenal fans and everything was complaining about the dark arts and how Newcastle bullied us and all this kind of crap. And then, do you know what I mean? Like, proceed to play dark arts football this year. The only thing that changed from the result last year is we had a shot on target. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's not much improvement there. Um, while I think obviously we're not fully out of the league, it's looking very spooky now. It's looking crazy spooky. So when people say, yeah, like, you've got a juggernaut in Man City to contend with, but they're having a lot of injuries as well now. We're just gonna have to see. I don't think it's over yet, but I'm not confident that we're the side to watch, if you know what I mean. I think that's Liverpool at the moment. I don't think they've really gone through anything as bad as say City and Arsenal in terms of injuries. I know they've got a couple, but you know what I mean. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But Newcastle, man, they're all right. Newcastle did all right. I mean, they weren't even playing good before they played us. I don't know if they, they didn't win in 5 games. I'm pretty sure. But Arsenal's always that team. If you're in bad form, do you know what I'm saying? Play against Arsenal, and Stella's got a groove back. You know, like that. Like we're always that team. So I wasn't surprised at all. I was after the Bournemouth game. Some of the Arsenal fans were jumping out the pram. Oh, we're gonna be back. We're gonna thrash Newcastle. I was like, whoa, 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 because from what I saw at Bournemouth, and even at Liverpool, second half, standing off, being pragmatic. What I saw, that didn't fill me with no confidence that we was going to St James's and gonna win. Not at all. And ultimately, I was proven right, but I just get called a fake supporter, negative. I had someone saying, my views on sports means nothing, but it's cool. It's cool. It's all opinions anyway. I don't really care, but I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Do you know what I mean? And Newcastle weren't even that good. We was just awful, and they played us at our own game. They scored a goal, and then they just sat back and said, "Well, come and break us down," and we couldn't. It was pitiful, really and truly. There's no doubt about it. Big up Wonderful Horseshoe again. He says every team has a blip. It's your turn, and maybe it's City's turn as well. Yeah, because City's obviously having a bit of a blip now. There was some talk about Haaland being injured. I see that kind of come up in the group chat. I don't know how serious it is. Big up Daps. He was like, "No, it's a joke" or something like that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to wait and see. But obviously, we know that they're struggling to fill their bench, like Arsenal. I think most of our players are kind of coming back now. I think it's still just Odegaard, like the long term one that's out. But then again, we just don't know because we're always getting fed bullshit information. Yeah, it's a week. Oh, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, it's not that bad. And do you know what I mean? Like Odegaard might not be back until December for all we know. I mean, it's not looking like that, but do you know what I mean? Every team has their blip, and you can't expect to go 3 seasons in a row without any blip happening. 3 seasons in a row without any injuries, without any suspensions, without any bad form. You can't expect that. You bloody cat. You can't expect that. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like it's our time now. So for all the Arsenal fans, like, oh, some people's getting called flip flop. Some people's just like going overboard. Um, do you know what I mean? It's understandable because there's things to be worried about. When you look at the team, like I keep saying in all of these lives, we look at shadow of our former selves. So it's hard for Arsenal fans to argue with anything, to have any chest for anyone or any argument when we're looking at what we're looking at. And now we got Inter Milan. But Arsenal, what they usually do is raise their game for the bigger games as well. That's what I'm noticing. Not to say that we've been playing great. I mean, we've had a couple of good halves, PSG and Liverpool first half, and then we retreat back into our shell. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Obviously, I don't know what to predict in terms of the team lineup, in terms of players being fit. We don't know if Claudio Arteta is going to tinker about and put players out of position. We just don't know. I don't think Ethan Wanyeri is going to start. So anyone thinking that's going to happen, that's probably not going to happen at all. Big up Horseshoe again. He says the beef between Arsenal and Newcastle was down to Arteta in my view. He can't accept it. He can't accept it. There is always a dig. Do you know what? Arteta's looking a bit spooky this season, man. Like I've never believed that he was exactly the man to take us forward. Like to put someone, at the helm of our club with no experience, no winning CV, it just stunk to me right at the beginning. You get me? Then we had eighth, fifth, and all these kind of shitty positions. And I just kind of like gave up on watching football, man. I was just like, what is this shit? Like the board's not serious. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, the fans ain't serious because they're just accepting this mediocrity, and everything's just not serious about the club. So I peek in, see the results, watch match of the day, just disappointed all the time. Like what a time to start a YouTube channel. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, and like I said in previous videos, I'd have to give it to Arteta because last year he had me believing a little bit. Like I said, I'm probably one of the more negative fans. I'm old enough to have seen my club do bits, so I know some of the young fans that are just hitting 20 and do you know what I mean, early 20s. They might not have seen Arsenal do bits, but I've seen us do bits in it. So when I'm getting upset and I'm saying Arteta ain't the man and this, that, and the other, people are telling me go and support Tottenham, go and support another team. Like that's a bad argument, guys. That's a bad argument. Go and support another team because you've got criticism for your own club. Because I'm used to seeing my team do bits. Like my childhood was good. Do you know what I mean? And now we don't see it anymore. No game in the Premier League's easy. However, those are the games that we should be winning. I'm sorry. If you're trying to go for the league, you need to be beating Newcastle, whether you're home or away. If you're trying to go for the league, you need to be beating Liverpool at home, especially when we have the first half like we did. Um, Big up Proven Kerpen, if I've said your name right. Subscribing to the channel, I'll try and get you back straight after the stream. Anyone who subscribed to me, just let me know in the comments and I'll get you back. 100%. It would just probably be after the stream and when I can actually watch it back. So probably tomorrow. Big up Michael Moon, MUFC, who you Man United fan. Yeah, man, not too bad. I mean, it was. I thought your players did quite well against Chelsea. Um, I thought Chelsea played like they was the home team, to be honest with you. But as Hook said, Man United. I mean, I don't watch a lot of Man United, but he said Man United kind of play on the transition now. So he said it was a good performance from United. And I thought it was a good game. United went 1-0 up. Chelsea equalised more or less straight away. There was chances on both sides, but I think United probably had the best of the chances, if I'm going to be terribly honest. Kind of a dead day for Cole Palmer. He had that great touch where he took out two players, like when he kind of just pushed it and then ran onto it. That was sick. But apart from that, not too much I can say about that game. But yeah, United's gonna have a new manager bounce. I think Rude, you know, I don't know. I thought they should have gave it to Rude till the end of the season and then brought in Amarim personally. But at the end of the day, I can't argue with what they're doing. Like if I could have got Amarim now for Arteta, I would swap them right now in a heartbeat, and then say forget wait until the end of the season. But then everyone calls me negative and all the rest of it anyway. So it is what it is. But Amarim's a good coach, so that's a good move for United. And obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I'm scared that they might bloody go and get Gyökeres now, and then that's when we need to riot. Do you know what I'm saying? Edu, I've got that in the title as well. Obviously, it's been all over the internet that Edu's leaving. I'm not sure whether he's actually left the club yet. I mean, I did see something on Sky talking about, I think he's leaving at the end of the season. I think. So, do you know what I mean? How do I feel about it? I'm happy, bro. I'm happy, bro. Like, I think Edu's a used car salesman. I don't think he was any good at his job, to be honest with you. It took him way too long to get deals across the line, haggling. You know what I mean? Like fucking Del Boy Trotter or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Haggling. Why are you haggling, bruv? Do you know what I'm saying? We've just had 2 years runners up bridesmaids. We need to challenge now. You said be excited. And we got Raheem Sterling. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah, look at all the players that he's brought in as well. There was a whole list. And big up some of the other people, some other content creators. I think TKA was on Hooks' stream. And he had a whole list of all the players that he bought. And half of that, the whole list was garbage. The whole list was garbage. Some people are talking about the relationship between Arteta and Edu. Like now Edu's gone, Arteta might not be able to handle it and how is he going to react and all that. But to be honest with you, like, I doubt they were holding each other's hands. Arteta's been given way too much power at this club anyway. Apparently it was about a CEO position. Why would Edu Gaspar think he's going to be the Arsenal CEO? Like, what do you guys think? Like, is he a dickhead? Like, what? Like, you've left to go to what? Nottingham Forest. You know what I'm saying? When Nottingham come calling, bruv, you get me? You can't turn down the call like it's a Real Madrid thing. So I don't know. Some people have said he's ducking out on phase 6 early because it's like Marvel, like it's gonna crash. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's jumping off the Titanic before it sinks. I don't know. Maybe he's got some information because remember, none of us know nothing. All we do is speculate. All we can do is work with the information we get given. Do you know what I'm saying? But everyone and their nan can see that Arsenal need a striker. We've needed a striker forever since Aubameyang left. Everyone and their nan can see that we need cover for Saka, and it's been like 4 fucking years, and there's no cover for Saka. Like Raheem Sterling, do me a favor, bro. Everyone can see that except for the people at the club. You be quiet as well, fucking cat. Everyone can see that except for the people at the club. Yeah. And then, like I said on my live yesterday, I'm saying that the Cronkies are not very ambitious, but they gave him 800 million. He's had 5 years at the club. Like, what manager do you know in the modern game is given that kind of time without a big CV, without really winning anything? Like, we know he won the FA Cup, but that was on his first year when he came in. So what other manager, like, if you look across the big teams, if they don't do the business, then they change it. Some people are saying, you know, oh, I'm being too rash. Arteta's the guy to get us across the line. On what evidence? Because at the end of the day, if I was to see some like actual tactics from this guy, when you think of a game tactician, you don't think of Arteta. His in-game management is poor. He's reactionary, do you know what I'm saying? All the time, rather than being proactive. You're stubborn with the substitutes. You take ages to substitute the people on. And then you kind of make the wrong substitutions as well. That's what I'm seeing all this season. Like, all of the good work that Edu and Arteta has done for Arsenal is just like it's been thrown down the drain this season. Now, I'm hoping, you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, the club, before any man, before any player, before any manager, owner, the club. So obviously I want us to turn it around. But it's concerning for a lot of Arsenal fans because we can't see where it's coming from. City's been playing shit. They've also been hit with a lot of injuries. So that's the context. But City always start slow. But City's won the league 4 times in a row. Pep's the best manager in the world. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to prove themselves. But with Arsenal and Arteta, we do. That's the narrative online, right? We must win. You've had a manager for 5 years. He's built his own team. He spent 800 million. He must win. And how can we argue with that now? Big up Michael Moon again. He said Arsenal need a goal scorer or City and Liverpool will run away. Yeah, like I said in my live yesterday, January is going to be huge. January is going to be huge for every team, bruv. I even think Chelsea, because I think they need a defender as well. I think they could even get a better goalkeeper as well, because Sanchez is cheeks. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Sanchez is absolutely cheek. So I think even Chelsea are going to have to spend in January. Arsenal 100% need to spend in January. City need to spend, yeah, because obviously they got to replace Rodri, because what they got, I don't think is going to hold them down for the whole season. Liverpool need to spend. If they get an injury to Gravenberch or a couple other players, then it can get sticky real quick. So I feel like a lot of teams need to spend in January, and Arsenal's not known for spending in January, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? We're not known for doing big business in January, which is scary for me, because that is going to, for me, leave Gyökeres or someone like that to get picked up by another team. And then we need to kick off, because this is ridiculous. Like, who's running the football club? It's like we got people with NVQs in business studies running the fucking football club. B-Tech business. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. The amount of players we've let go for free and not made no money back on them is criminal. It's actually disgusting. Our business, Arsenal Football Club, in terms of business, is abysmal. If you really look into it. So the fact that that used car salesman is going, I don't give a shit. Good riddance. Good riddance, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up Rosie. Salute every time, Rosie, man. Make sure we're smashing the like button and subbing. 37 watching, 2 likes. Come on, guys. Big up Rosie every time, man. Every time showing love. Yeah, as soon as I get my laptop, I'm going to start doing up mods, and you're definitely in for a shout. Big up Michael Moon again. Sporting versus City tonight. Looking forward to it. Yeah, that's going to be a good game, man. Hey, I'm going to have to put the zoot down for this, bro. Because we need to see this guy, bro. We need to see this guy at the fucking Emirates. And are we going to ever see him? I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. Are we going to see him? Like, fuck are we? Do you know what I'm saying? If Arsenal's got any balls, slap them on the table, get your money out, and say, we've got a whole heap of making up to do to the fans, to the fucking team, to everybody. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's gonna be a big game though, man. I'm interested to see Gyökeres in action, man. Like, why we never got him is mad. Big up Wonderful Horseshoe again. He said the biggest problem Arteta has got, he is a horrendous bad loser. Everyone is saying it. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, for me, it's like he can't galvanize the team anymore. Like the team don't look up for it half the time. Do you know what I mean? And his in-game management, like I said, if you're trying to play pragmatic and defensive and it's not working and we're under pressure, like backs to the wall, then you need to change and start trying to attack. If you're attacking and you're not getting so much joy, but you've got a couple of goal lead, not one goal, but at least 2 goals, then you can maybe sit back a little bit. But to score 1 goal and try and sit back, yeah, I don't even know if he's a bad loser. I just think his in-game management is awful. Like at the minute, he's looking like a terrible manager. I'm gonna be honest. He's not G'ing up the team. He's looking devoid of any ideas. He's got no plan B. The substitutions are atrocious. He's tinkering. Man, big up Luca Talks Ball. Big yourself up, my guy. Hope you're well, my bro. You okay? Big up. Yeah, big yourself up, my bro, man. You're crazy, man. LOL, Diddy or Epstein. None of them, bruv. None of them. Big up Rosie. She's saluting Luca as well. Big up all the gang. Yeah, big up Luca as well, man. Make sure you go and subscribe to Luca. And anyone who subscribes, I'll subscribe back. Just let me know, because sometimes it takes a while for the notifications to come up. I'm not prissy with all them kind of things. We support each other. So if you support, I support, and we keep it moving. But Arsenal Inter, man, tomorrow. Big up Cass. He's invited me on Never a Foul. So I should be on there tomorrow after the game, around 10:30, to talk about it. It's hard to kind of do a preview on the game because, like I said, I mean, I'm not too sure about the lineups. When I looked on Sky Sports this morning, they were talking about Bastoni, who's going to be a danger man. But to be honest, if I was Arteta at the moment, obviously the team need to get back to winning ways. We need to, you know what I mean? Get back to performing good. So I don't know if he should be tinkering around and changing up the team for the Inter game. I'm not sure. We're away from home, so I'm pretty sure he's going to bloody play defensive again. So, I mean, it could be a real boring game. 0-0 or a 1-0 to either side. Now, some people are saying Odegaard might play. I'm not holding my breath. Do you know what I mean? I think he's going to be tinkering around again. I wouldn't be surprised to see Partey at right back, and I don't want to see that, to be honest with you. And another big thing that a lot of people are talking about is Rice. The argument that he's not a 6 and he's an 8, or he's not an 8 and he's a 6. Me personally, he's a 6. He was a 6 for West Ham. He was a 6 for us for most of last season, and that's where he had his best form. Him and Jorginho, or even him and Moreno, did relatively okay, like when against Liverpool, because I'm pretty sure he was back in the 6 then. You know what I mean? And then some people are like, Partey's been our best midfielder this year, especially in the 6th position. Fair enough, but to be honest with you, you need to be working things out around Declan. He's younger. He's the guy we spent all that money on. So you need to be working things out for him. He's the long-term player, not Partey, because Partey's getting on. Only a few weeks ago, people are saying his legs are shot. So for me, Rice is the person you're supposed to build it around. So put Partey in the 8, and if you don't play well there, then you don't play, innit? Like, don't play him right wing. That for me is terrible. Big up Rosie. She's saying 100 support each other unless it's England, Celtic, or Arsenal fans. Yeah, Arsenal's a weird space, man. It's a weird space. We're space as a fan. We're space as a club. Do you know what I'm saying? I can see why we get bantered a lot of the time. I can't even argue. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of blue badge fans that support this club and that just hungrily eat whatever the club feeds you up. Do you know what I mean? It's you're not negative if you want your club to do better. Do you know what I mean? Someone like me, I'm used to seeing my club do stuff. Do you know what I mean? We was competing at Highbury. Like look at like our squad now, like people are like, oh, some people compare it to the you can't compare it to the Invincibles. I'm sorry. Because they actually done something. Until this team does something, we can't do any comparisons. Until Arteta wins something, we can't say he's the man to get us across the line because he hasn't proved it yet. All good, mate. Getting ready to bake all day. Yeah, Rosie doing the baking. What did you bake? What did you bake? I know you done a curry, but what did you bake? Big up Luca Talks Ball. Do you think Arsenal will go for a striker? What positions do we need in Jan? Well, everyone knows the positions we need. We still haven't filled the left back position, in my opinion. Yeah. We wasted so much money on left backs, all for them not to cut the mustard. Yeah. Calafiori's been bought in, but he's a centre back, let's be honest. And when he plays on the left or the right, in terms of left back or right back, he looks a little bit dodgy defending. Now, I'm not going to write him off completely because I think he's good going forward. High energy. I think he can bring something to the team. But from what I'm seeing, he's not really a first team player. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but even still, I still feel like the left back we're short. And we saw when Saliba went out, for all of the combinations that we're supposed to have, we looked all over the place. We did have a lot of injuries in the defensive position, but I don't know. But I think left back we still need to sort out. We still need to sort out our left hand side because Trossard I don't think is good enough to hold that place down, and Martinelli definitely isn't good enough to hold that place down. Yeah, Arteta's constantly, we heard that he was interested in Nico Williams, Mudryk, a couple of other people. So I feel like he knows that he needs to strengthen there, and we do need a striker. We've got Havertz, who we bought as a midfielder. We bought him as a midfielder. So it's a waste of money, really. Then we're trying to throw him up front. He can do a job. He can do a job. But on days like Newcastle, where he's everywhere except the box, then we need to have another option to bring on. And Gabriel Jesus is not it. So straight away, we need a left back, we need a left winger, and we need a striker. Straight away, yeah? Then we need cover for Odegaard because now that he's been out, you can see that we're struggling. However, if you wanted to say to me, you're going to trust Ethan Nwaneri and Trossard to kind of battle for that role while Odegaard's out, then I'll say fair enough. Saka now, when he's playing bad, which he does do occasionally, let's be honest, yeah? He does look, he's been rinsed. He's been rinsed since he's come to Arsenal. I'm surprised he's not. I'm surprised he's still got legs the way we just run him into the ground. But anyway, we need cover for Saka. We've needed cover for Saka for ages. So we need that as well. So left back, left wing, striker, cover for Odegaard, cover for Saka. But however, if you said to me you're going to use Jesus as cover for Saka, I'd say okay. Obviously, he's not as potent as Saka, but he does add a little bit more to the game than Raheem Sterling from what I've seen this season anyway. So unless we get a drastic change in form from Raheem Sterling, I'd rather see Jesus play there as a winger because he's not a striker. He couldn't score in a brothel. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not a striker. But he's always injury prone. So for you, if Arteta was to say, he's going to be the backup for Saka, blah blah blah, then I'm okay with that just for now. Just for now. I'd still want that sorted out in the summer. So if you put a gun to my head and said, we just got to get the positions that we desperately need right now, then I'd say left back, left wing, striker. And I think anyone with a pair of eyes can tell you that. Big up Luca Talks Ball again. He says, Jan, for me, we need world-class striker and creative midfielder. Well, there you go. Even before Odegaard got injured, he weren't playing that well. I'm not saying that we don't need him. We need him. We need him. We miss any kind of creativity in the middle. Do you know what I mean? The way he plays, drifts between the players, the tempo, like he's our guy for that. We need him back. But he weren't playing that well anyway. So it would be nice to have someone who can step into that position if he has an off day or if he gets injured or sent off or whatever happens. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like he doesn't trust Nwaneri. But he's a 17-year-old kid. You can't be putting all of that pressure onto him. Do you know what I mean? We've gutted out the team, as I keep saying every day, with no replacement. So, big up Rosie. I'm making a gingerbread house for the first time. Ooh, I love gingerbread. I love gingerbread. Yeah, that's banging. Maybe post a picture of that so I can have a look at it. That's banging, man. But guys, there's a few of you in here. What's your predictions? Arsenal, Inter Milan. I mean, for me, like I was saying before, I do get sidetracked in it. Like I was saying before, I'm not too sure how to approach this game. The team needs to turn their form around. We need the feel-good factor back at the club. Obviously, a win against Inter, a win against Chelsea, and everything looks a bit different again. I'm not as fickle as that though. The team still needs work no matter what. Um, but I don't know how to approach this Inter game. Does Arteta play a strong team and try and win it, or does he play maybe not so much of a strong team and kind of like, you know, not throw the game, but don't put so many eggs into it, considering that we got Chelsea at the bridge afterwards. Our position in the Champions League ain't as bad as our position in the league. So I don't know how to approach the game. Let me know how you'd approach the game. Big up Rosie. She's saying 2-1 to Inter. Big up David. Sese, he's saying Arsenal 3, Inter Milan 2. Wow. Wow. I don't know if we score 3 goals, man. I mean, I'd love it. I'd love it if we scored 3 goals. I'd love it, but I just at the moment I just don't see where that comes from. But yeah, that would be a blinding score, to be honest with you. Obviously, I remember Thierry Henry the 5-1 win. Do you know what I mean? But I don't. This ain't the same team. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how Arteta's going to approach it. I think that's going to be interesting. We don't know what team he's going to put out because we're not getting fed all of the information. I personally think this game's going to be a bit of a ball fest. I'm going to go 0-0. Or 1-0 either way. I can't say Arsenal. I can't ever predict Arsenal lose. So I'm gonna say Arsenal 1-0. But I feel like it's gonna be a 0-0 draw. And that's the thing. No one can tell us how Arteta's gonna set up. No one can tell us, do you know what I'm saying, what the strongest team is, because we don't know who's in, we don't know who's out. Do you know what I mean? Is Edu leaving gonna affect the team? I'm not sure. I mean, it can't affect them any more than how they've been playing at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't see how it can make them play any worse, to be honest. But it don't affect me. It don't. I'm happy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he was the guy for us anyway. If anyone in the chat knows of a sporting director you think that can come and do the business at Arsenal, then let me know. Because like I keep saying, I don't keep up to date with sporting directors. I know it's a role that has now become quite prominent in the game, so you kind of have to. But most fans, sporting directors, who just get me the players. Do you know what I mean? And and I saw another thing on the 12th man, in the comments. Someone said Arsenal haven't replaced David Dean, and they're so right. They are so right. If you're old enough to know about David Dean in the Wenger days and that, David Dean was Arsenal through and through. When we lost David Dean, that's when we was in trouble. And I said it then. Obviously, I weren't talking on the internet then, you know. But David Dean, he's the one that got us half the players that we did. He's the one that made us competitive. Do you know what I'm saying? And had the vision for Arsenal. David Dean was a bad man. Do you know what I'm saying? He was Arsenal through and through. And until we get someone like that, again, I'm not really too sure. But if we get someone that obviously wants to come into the role and make a name for themselves and make a splash in football and be successful, you have got a good platform at Arsenal. As much as everyone banters our club, you've got a good platform. You know, if you're competent at your job, you've got a good platform to come in and be successful. Big up Rosie, 16 watching, 6 likes. Come on, guys, press that like button. Yeah, I'd appreciate it, man. Just a little like. We are shameless over here. Do you know what I mean? It does help. I am starting to see a few regular people that come into my lives now, though. So I'm watching. So as soon as I get my laptop, we're gonna start modding up some people. But But yeah, has anyone in the chat got any news for me and any news on the lineups? Because I don't know who's going to start for Arsenal. Like I said, Sky was only talking about Bastoni, so I'm not sure what kind of injury problems they have or whether they have any. Are they top of the league? I think Simeone Inzaghi is doing well at the moment. He's another manager I'd take at Arsenal. It's a proven winner at the end of the day. And everyone's saying no, you know, we're being too hasty talking about Arteta out. It's his 5th year. Like Ten Hag won two trophies and got sacked in just over 2 years. How long did they wait at Madrid before sacking someone if results ain't going their way? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think it's like knee-jerk reaction, get Arteta out, you know, blah 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 blah. I've been saying for a minute I've not been happy with what I'm seeing at the club. I've been saying that I've not been happy with the transfer window. I've been saying that although Arteta's done very well with Arsenal, if he don't win this year, he's got to go because it's been long enough. 200 mil under a billion is what you've spent. You can't say this ain't your team, and we still need positions filling. That ain't a that's not a good business model, is it? That's not a good business model. 800 million spent, 5 years, one FA Cup in your first year, and we still need at least 3 or 4 positions filling in the first team, let alone squad. So that's not good business, is it? That's like fucking NVQ business. Do you know what I'm saying? A-level business studies, bruv. Like, who have we got at the club? That is not good business. Do you know what I'm saying? And we still need 3 to 4 players for the first team, let alone the squad. And you have the gall to talk about trying to add more capacity to the fucking stadium, acting like we're broke. We ain't broke, bro. The stadium was paid off ages ago. We ain't broke. And we act like we're a broke club. Arse little. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how we act. So when people banter the club, how can I argue? It's hard to argue. I feel like a beaten dog. You know what I'm saying? Just you're kicking a man when he's down. Do you know that's what it's like? It's like bullying. And then we get called victims anyway. But I'm only joking. It's not bullying. But at the end of the day, it's like how much more can people say about this club? Because everyone can see it with their own eyes. Some people were saying Inter's going to defend, like Inter will be happy with a draw, but they're at home. So any team at home shouldn't be happy with the draw. That's why I said after the 2-2 to Liverpool, I'm not happy with the draw. Probably a fair result, but we should have put them to the sword. So I don't know, man. The way that we've been playing so shaky as well, Inter might fully put it all over us today. Like, pause. I don't know. I really just don't know. That you know, that normally I'm able to put a finger on things and say, we've been playing kind of bad, but we might take it doing this, or we might take. But now I can't tell you. 1 shot on target against Newcastle in over 90 minutes. So that is limp in terms of attacking. Yeah, attacking thrust, limp. Do you see what I'm saying? Defensively, poor as well. We conceded. We're looking shaky. Like, if you're going to play defensive, at least be good at it. I say that on every stream. So I don't know. Like I said, I think it's going to be a 0-0. I think it's going to be a ball fest, to be honest. Or I think it's going to go 1-0 either way. It could be Milan, but I'm going to say 1-0 Arsenal because I don't ever like to predict my team losing. But it's not looking good, bruv. In the words of Castillo, it's not looking good, bruv. You see what I'm saying? It's not looking good, bruv. So if I'm Arteta, do I say, let me not put all my eggs in this basket and make sure I've got the strongest, fittest team to play Chelsea at the Bridge? What would you guys do in the chat? Let me know. Because I'm not sure. We obviously need to turn our fortunes around. We need a good performance. The fact that most teams are playing every 3 days now, I think that's why everyone's getting licked down with injuries. What's your thoughts? And this is because of the new Champions League. It's basically the Super League. What's your thoughts on that? Are you happy with the new format? Do you feel like it's the Champions League? Because every time it rolls around, it don't really feel like the Champions League. So I don't know, guys. let me know. Few people coming in, coming out. Big up to all of you. I don't mind. Obviously, I know people come in and out of lives. If you don't mind just hitting that like button, I'd appreciate that very much. But yeah, how are we going to approach this game? Arsenal against Inter. I kind of wanted to hear from you lot a little bit. Because I don't know. Like I said, like I keep saying, I really don't know. I don't know who we're going to line up with. I don't know if playing a strong team's gonna be beneficial to us. I don't know if we kind of just say we're doing all right in the Champions League, so let's just focus on Chelsea. I don't know. I don't know what's going to be best anymore. And I think that's why a lot of Arsenal fans are like whining and shit. Do you know what I mean? Some people even say that I'm whining. Cool, not a problem. I think we're whining because we don't we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Do you know what I mean? Before we can always see it like, yeah, we're playing well, or we've got a few injuries, or it's a red card, or this, that, and the other. But now, like from the start of the season, I said like we're not looking good, and I've said it on the videos, and I've tried to be positive and say, but we're picking up points, we're showing mentality, we're being resilient, and then we just fucking crumble, more crumble than apple. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just crumble, bruv. 2 losses in the league already, draws. Do you know what I'm saying? Just bare drop points. And to be honest, you couldn't really lose more than 3, 4 games, and we're already on 2 to beat Man City and Liverpool. Look, so what phase is slotting? I say this every day as well, because a lot of people think that there's nobody that can take over from Arsenal and do this, that, and the other. The squad's there now. If you're a competent manager, you should be able to come in and work with this. It's a good platform to work with. What did Slot have? Was he backed by FSG to bring his own team in? I don't know what phase he's in. Do you know what I mean? So, but they've just given Arteta a new £15 million a year deal. So they're not going to sack him at the end of the season. He might walk away if he's got any fucking pride. He might walk away if he don't win anything at the end of the season. But Arsenal would have to pay him out 15 million a year for however many years he's got on the contract. I'm not even sure how long it was. I don't know if it's an extension or what. I wasn't very happy when he signed it just because I thought like he don't deserve it yet. All we've done is challenge. It's like Liverpool and Chelsea this season. They're playing well. You know, they're doing very good. They're looking very good. But you haven't done anything yet. Do you know what I mean? So until you do it, like Man United the same. A lot of their fans talking about we're back, we're back. Obviously you've got reason to be excited, and reason to be a bit more optimistic, but you're not back. You're not back until you're back. Do you know what I'm saying? The same for Arsenal. Like, you know, you don't win until you get there, until you get to May. So let me know, guys, innit? Let me know, guys, man. Let me know. Like, how what does Arteta do to get out of this bad run of form? What do you think? What would you tell Arteta to do at this stage? We're coming up to January. We're coming up to January. Some people are saying Edu bounced because he knew it was going to get peak and Arsenal weren't going to do anything in January. And I'm like, well, that's possible. It's plausible. Do you know what I mean? Big up Rosie again. Do you think we can still win the league realistically? Not playing like this. Not playing like this. Because I don't see anything. Like even last year, before we went to Dubai, we were having some bad results and we weren't playing that well, but you could still it still looked better than this. It still looked like there was a genuine idea of what was going on. It still looked like the players wanted to play for the manager. All of this coming out, doing huddles and then playing like you're scared. What are you huddling for? Do you know what I'm saying? They're maybe huddling because they're cold, huddling because they're scared. Don't come out early and then play like shit. Play like you're scared. Like, earn your money, innit? And that's what Arteta's got to do now. Realistically, do I see us winning the league? Not now. We need to get back to that form. There ain't going to be no Dubai trip this year. But a lot of things, we can't sit there and say it's all going against us because it goes against all the teams in the league because we've got extra Champions League games. We've got 3 international breaks before December. That is wild, isn't it? And the teams are playing near enough every 3 days. So every team's been smashed up with injuries and struggling for form at certain points. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the fixtures have just gone up. But unless we turn our form around, I just cannot see how we win this league. Do you think there's a disconnect in the team? Big yourself up, Rosie. I do think there's a disconnect in the team. I feel like the system's holding them back a little bit. I feel like Arteta's tried to change how we play, because we were decent defensively last year, but we was more of a gung ho team. We was going forward. We had that period when we was bopping teams 4 and 5s. Do you know what I mean? And that's the best way for Arsenal to play. All of this pragmatic stuff. I mean, I don't mind it, but you got to be good at it. And this year, we don't look good at anything. You know, there was points last year where we looked very good defensively, but then we had that run where we just looked amazing going forward. Like, even I was starting to believe, like, wow, we actually look good going forward. And then we've come out this year and totally ignored all of that football to try and play defensively, and we're not any good at it. Like, we're playing like schoolboys. They look nervous all the time. We're conceding goals out the arse. So I think it's time to try and go back to the fucking plan A, because plan B ain't working. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't see where it's going to come from. Havertz, he does do well, but he's like 50-50. There's plenty of big games that you just don't turn up in. There's plenty of the smaller games that you just don't turn up in. So when a player has games like that, you need to be able to replace them. So with just Havertz as our striker and Jesus, then no, how can we win the league with that? I have a lot of time for Saka. He's carried Arsenal at times and England, very talented and underrated. He is, but I feel like Arsenal's run him into the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? He never gets rest. He looks very predictable nowadays, but he's inevitable. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like Salah. So I don't really mind. Everyone knows that he's going to drop the shoulder and cut back on the left, but he can also get to the byline and cross with the right as well. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of predictable, but yeah, he is underrated. He's definitely undervalued because he does a big job for Arsenal, but we're relying on him too much. He needs help. He needs help. Even fucking Salah had Sane at one point at Liverpool, or was it Mane? Sane, I think it was Mane. Like, everyone needs help. You can't just do it on your own. Do you know what I mean? And when he has games where he doesn't play well, or he looks tired, or he's getting doubled and tripled up, you need to bring someone else on. Someone that can affect the game as well. You know? But I rate Saka, of course. We missed him for the couple of games he was out, and I feel like we're almost rushing him back. So I was a bit scared against Liverpool. He played great in the first half, and then look at the second half. Went missing. But no, I rate Saka, man. I rate Saka. But I feel like Arsenal as a club, we're running him into the ground. He needs to be rested at times, needs help. Absolutely, Rosie. Big yourself up, Pac-Man. Do you know what? Let me see if I can... I'm going to try and pin the message. I'm going to get you back after the stream, my bro. I'm going to get you back because I know you subscribed to me yesterday, but it weren't coming up in my notifications, so I'm going to get you back today, my bro. 100%. But big up Pac-Man again. He says, good riddance to Edu. He's dodgy dealing with the Marquinhos transfer. Was the line for me. He was in it for himself, not the club. Well, I mean, look now. You've had one little bit of news that you didn't like. You know, you wanted to be the CEO. What have you done to deserve that? Yeah, but you wanted to be the CEO. They said no, and then you're throwing your toys out the pram like you're off. So, yeah, good riddance, man. Good riddance. Like, no what? A lot of Arsenal fans weren't like. I wasn't gonna say no one, but a lot of people didn't like you anyway, bro. A lot of people questioned your business anyway. Taking way too long to get deals over the line. Not slapping your balls on the table for the right players. Wasting money flying all over the place to meet these players. Like, look at some of the players he brought in. Fucking garbage, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Big up Truth out there. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Big yourself up, my bro. He's nervous. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. That's how Arsenal are playing though. Fucking one shot shit, bruv. I swear that's how Arsenal are playing. Vomit on themselves. You know, like that. Mum spaghetti, bruv. That's how Arsenal are playing. They're looking nervous. So until we sort that out, and I think we sorted that out by stop relying on defense, stop making us soak up all this pressure for the whole fucking game. Liverpool, 71 minutes, we're running to the corner flag. Like, that was embarrassing, bro. I'm gonna be honest. That was embarrassing, bro. My God. We're at home doing that. If we're gonna play like Mourinho, then at least be like a Mourinho team. At least be at least be good at defending, please. Do you know what I'm saying? 22 people in there. Let me know what would be your one bit of advice to Arteta right now. Edu's left. Fuck him. Good riddance. The car salesman. Like we needed players, and he was sending in feet pics. Do you know what I'm saying? With the toes, white toenails. Do you know what I'm saying? What's he doing, bruv? Barbecuing and that. Doing everything but getting the players that we need. But then he might come out and say, you know what? Just playing devil's advocate here. He might come out and say, here what? It weren't me. I was trying to do this, that, and the other. I had my apron on. I was trying to cook. And they told me no. They told me there's not enough money. Arteta told me you don't want that player. Because we just don't fucking know what's going on, do we? Do you know what I mean? But from the outside, all we can do is look at the players he's brought in. All of the players that we've let go for no fees whatsoever. The business has been GCSE business. Do you know what I'm saying? Business studies. Like we've got NVQ guys running the club. That's what it's been like. So to see him gone, I ain't upset. Can we please get someone competent now? Please. Please. Big up Rohit Bench. Should sign players from India. We have the best players in the world. Do you know what's funny, yeah? I used to play for my borough, yeah, Camden. I used to play semi-professional. And hey, listen, there were some Asian boys in that team. They were fucking serious, man. I think one of them went on to play for West Ham. But we should be talking about that. They're talking about all this racism stuff, yeah? You're seeing players doing the knee. I'm pretty sure I saw Chelsea players doing the knee for racism. But where's all the Asian players in the Premier League? Where are they there? Because I knew some ballers back in the day. Some absolute ballers. Bangladeshi guys, Pakistani guys, like ballers. Absolute ballers. But they weren't getting scouted. You don't really see many Asian, do you know what I'm saying? Representatives in the Premier League. So that's a bit mad. Maybe you lot should riot. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe you lot should riot. Do you know what I mean? Like Arsenal fans, if you don't get your careers. Big up Pac-Man again. Good riddance. Dodgy dealing. Yeah. I think I pinned that comment. So I'm gonna follow you after the stream 100%. Anyone who subs, the moment it comes up, I'll sub back. Like we're not one of those prissy people over here. We help each other out. Do you know what I'm saying? I would appreciate any likes on the stream though. I know it might be cutting in and out McDonald's Wi-Fi. We are addressing it this month. Gonna get the fiber optic thing. The laptop's coming. So yeah, people are gonna get modded up. And we're gonna be here. But for the 20 people in here, going back to the Arsenal Inter game, how do you think Arteta's gonna set up? What do you think he should do? Do you think he should try and set up strong? Try and get us back to winning ways? Or do you think we should kind of ease up a bit, whether we draw or lose, and put all of our eggs into Chelsea at the bridge? Because that's straight after. What do you lot think? Because I don't know. I don't know what lineups he's going to come up with. You know what I mean? I don't know who's fit. Let me know. Is Edu going to come out and write a book and let us know what's actually happening? But it's like anyone in any walk of life, innit? If you're doing your 9 to 5 or whatever, and you're just say, I don't know, a manager, for instance, of a department, and then you get a chance to go and be like the CEO of another company, or I don't know, just a higher position. Do you know what I mean? Instead of a department, maybe you're the area manager now. Things like that. Like you're gonna take it, right? So maybe it's just something like that. He didn't get the CEO job at Arsenal, and he said, "All right, fuck this, I'm out," which is a bit bad, but it is what it is. Big up Holly. What is that? I can't see that flag properly. Rosie saying, ease up and put all the effort into the Chelsea game. Do you know what I mean? And if he did that, I wouldn't be surprised. For me, I think that's kind of a good idea because I think we're kind of better placed in the Champions League. Yeah, I think we're better placed in the Champions League. Obviously, we need to turn our bad form around. So for me, I'm uncertain. But Rosie said to ease up and play the strongest team against Chelsea. Big up Holly in the chat. Big up Pac-Man. What do you guys think? Holly, you know something island, something island. Is that Israel or is it Greece? My eyesight's Israel flag. Okay, big yourself up, man. Big up Israel. Big up all the Irish. I got Irish in me as well. My dad is his family's from Cork. Big up Pac-Man again. He said, "You're not wrong, bro. Asian lads never get scouted. The scouting institutions from school football are inherently refusing Asian lads progressing in football." Yeah, listen, I mean, you know, I'm mixed race. My dad's Italian Irish. My mum's from Antigua and Jamaica in the Caribbean. So I'm like a Four Seasons pizza. But obviously, I'm from London. I've grown up around all types of different people from all different walks of life. And if you're from London, you know London's a melting pot. I've got friends from all over the place. Do you know what I mean? But as someone that was kind of growing up in the mid 90s and early 2000s, and I was involved in football. I played for Racing Club, Highbury Saints. I played for Camden Borough. Like, I played semi-professional. And like I said, I played with a lot of Asian boys, and they just weren't getting picked. If you look at the Premier League as a whole, like, can you even name me an Asian player that starred in the Premier League? You know, black players have had their problems. You know, black players, even to this day. Like my dad, he's Italian Irish. Even in Italy, I ain't been to Italy yet. I need to go over there. But even in Italy, there's racism. In Spain, there's racism to this day. You know what I mean? For players of color. But specifically with Asians, we just don't see them. Where's their representation? We don't see them. Big up Holly. Liverpool are the best. Yeah, big yourself up, man. I just love you, bro. Big yourself up. But Liverpool doing their thing this season. I can't lie, man. I can't lie. We don't know how it's going to go for the whole season because Slot's a bit of an unknown. However, he's slotted in nicely, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? What phase is slotting? He's basically showing everyone that if you're a competent manager and you've got a good platform to work with, you can be successful. So far, so good for Liverpool. So far, so good. Obviously, nothing's happened yet, but so far, so good, man. Big up Liverpool fans. What flag is that, Pac-Man? I'm kind of bad with flags, you know. My bad. Hamza Chowdhury, to be fair, Leicester lad. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna have to check him out. I don't even remember him. All I know is that like there's very low representation for the Asian lads, and I know some ballers. Do you know what I mean? Even from up north, there's a big Asian community in Bradford. There's some ballers, bro. And I used to play with Joe Cole and Lee Scott and Josh Scott. R.I.P. Lee Scott, the Barnet striker. He was my friend since we were young. His mum knows my mum. He died. I think he was only 41 or 42. So big up Lee Scott, big up his whole family, rest in peace. But I used to play with Joe Cole and that, and he weren't even one of the best players that we had around Castlehaven in Camden at that time. There were some Asian players that were way better than him. I was also telling the story about my mum's ex-boyfriend, yeah? back in the day, he used to go to school with John Barnes, and he used to tell me John Barnes was rubbish, absolutely rubbish. Always one of the last people to get picked in school for the team. But he showed up, he worked hard, he was always early, he always left training late, he always did what the manager said. You know what I mean? And made his way in football. So black players have had issues, but Asian players, even now in 2024, where are they? Don't tell me there's no Asian players that can't kick ball, because I know loads of them. And the size of their country, there's ballers there. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure why, but if you look at the Premier League, even over the years, no like Bangladeshi, no Pakistani representation. Oh, it's Pakistani flag. Oh, Palestine. Big up Rosie. Palestine. Yeah, big up Palestine, man. Big up Israel. They big up everyone, man. There's no need for conflicts in 2024, but I don't know what's going on. But no one needs to be getting killed up. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, big up everyone, man. We don't hate on nobody. Do you get me? Big up Rosie again. She's saying Asian players are big in Scotland, dominating the SPL. Really? Rest in peace, my dad. He passed last year. He's the one who got me supporting Arsenal, but he was also a big Celtic fan, and used to go up there to watch the games. But I was never really into the SPL too tough. I always used to try and watch the Celtic Ranger games because obviously they was big. But that's good for Scotland, man. That is fucking big up big up the SPL. You know what I'm saying? Talking about no to racism, but there's no Asian representation in the Premier League. And I ain't talking about like Korean or China, that kind of. We're talking about Pakistani, Bangladesh. Do you know what I'm saying? India. Like, where's their representation? I think the scouting comes from managers. Arsenal had a thing for French players. Mikel's got a thing for Spanish players, kind of. Ten Hag had a thing for Ajax players. Big up Pac-Man. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Like, why did Arteta go for Moreno? Like, why? Do you know what I'm saying? Who was it? Was it on Troops'? No, it weren't on Troops' stream. It was on Lee Gunner's stream. Lee Gunner was doing a stream, and someone went onto his stream and said, "Oh, Arsenal's racist." Like, that's ridiculous. I swear we've had the most like black representation for ages. Do you know what I mean? So I don't feel like Arteta's racist, but I feel like he probably prefers Spanish players. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why get Marino? There's other players we could have got. Even if you got Spanish players, there's other players better than him. Zubimendi had a 50 million release clause. Why didn't we release it? But we went and got Moreno. His cheeks. We'll give him some time, but I don't know what time's going to heal. Time ain't going to make him faster. And let me know in the chat, who wins a race? Jorginho or Moreno? The race of molasses. You know what I'm saying? The fucking race of the snails. Who wins? Let me know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a scouting thing, manager thing. It might be, bro. It might be. Obviously, there was a problem with racism in the league and stuff. There always has been, but especially for Asian, man. I don't know why they're so underrepresented. I don't know. I don't know why. And I don't know why no one kicks off about it. The amount of Asians that we have over here that are British citizens, pay their taxes, all of the rest of it, own homes. Why are they not kicking off? As a community, I'd be kicking off, innit? But big up Pac-Man. Giorgio will trip over Moreno. They're both loose. That's what I'm saying. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a race? I'd pay for that. What Arsenal did recently is they sent Dennis Bergkamp down to the Arsenal shop and they charged fans to go and see him and get a picture and all that. At first I was like, oh, that's bad from Arsenal. You know, to be honest, I still think it's bad from Arsenal. Give fucking back to the fans. Because we've been paying out the arse for years for no reason, because we ain't been winning shit. Do you know what I mean? But if they done something like that, raise money, and you get me, Jorginho Moreno race, I'd pay for that, innit? I'd pay for that. 100%. Gotta film that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Slow as molasses, both of them. Calafiori can't defend. Like, everyone in their nine can see we needed certain positions, but it's like Arteta's scared of strikers. Could have got Osherman, could have got Tony. Someone said because they're black, we never got... I don't believe that. I just think Arteta's a dickhead, bro. Do you know what I mean? We need the right players. Do you know what I'm saying? We need the right attitude. Do we? Do we? We need a gunman. That's what we need. Talking about Tony, I don't give a shit about his attitude. I need you to turn up on a Saturday or whenever we play, and I need you to bang in some goals. That's what I need from you. I don't need anything else. I don't need homework. I don't need you to be piggybacking players in training. I don't need squeezing of lemons. I don't need any of that. I need you to bang in front of goal. That's what I need. That's it. You telling me Osherman wouldn't have been good to have with Havertz? I'm not saying to get rid of him, but Arsenal's business is B-Tech. It's NVQ. That's why Kai Havertz is playing all them games last season. That's why as long as he's fit, he's always in. Are we gonna get a bad man, a gunman striker when Kai Havertz is on over 200k a week? I don't even know what he's on. Someone tell me, is it 250? Wild. What has he done to earn that? And because of those wages, I think that's why he plays. That's why, you know, when someone's out of the midfield, he's trying to bring him back into mid. Like, I feel like he's got to play him. And I feel like those wages will mean that we don't get a fucking gunman that we need. Martinelli on 180 grand a week. What the fuck has he done to earn that? When we were re-signing all of the bum players, ESR and Ketia, why was they all on 100 grand? Like, who's running Arsenal business? It's like a toddler or something. Big up Pac-Man again. He said, we definitely need a striker. Even Jesus is undercover Bolivian striker for I think Bolivians being too nice. Never seen a Brazilian finish like him, bruv. The same as Martinelli, bruv. Hooks is saying just call him Martin. That's my name. That's my real name. Just call him Martin, bruv. There's no Ellie at the end. Jesus. Brazilian which part, bruv? I think he's just got a Brazilian passport. That's it. I don't actually think he's Brazilian. Like, he weren't a gunman for Man City. He ain't been a gunman in his career. He scored a few goals, but he's played better on the wings for Arsenal and for Man City. Like, he's garbage. The money that he's on now, we need to get rid of that. If you want to keep Kai, keep him and let him battle with another striker to solidify their position. We need competition. Someone like Saka can just walk in every week. That's why he kind of looks complacent sometimes. That's why he's getting run into the ground. There's no competition. How can I see it? Someone who sits at home and plays FIFA. How can I see it? How can YouTube see it? How can Twitter see it? How can everybody see it except for the people at the club? Maybe the Cronkies have said, you know what, brother? You've been here for 5 years. We've nearly give you £1 billion. What do you mean you ain't got your team ready yet? What do you mean we still need more? But then what do? Do we just ignore the fact that we still need more because we've spent money, or do we just fucking address it and then hope that we can actually start winning things and be justified in spending that money? I don't know, man. Plenty of things to be worried about as an Arsenal fan. I'm going to keep watching over Sky Sports and keep watching over the Twitter and all of the news feeds to try and find out about player availability and the type of lineups that we might get tomorrow. Like I said, Pac-Man, you're here now, bro. What would you do, bro? Would you play a strong team against Inter, or would you put all your eggs into the Chelsea basket at Stamford Bridge? Because I really think we need points in the league now. We've just had 3 games, 9 points, and we've taken 1. Dun, dun, dun. Like, we've taken 1. We need points in the league. We're in the Champions League, but are we going to win it? I don't know. I don't think so. I think our best chance for silverware right now, with everything that's happened, is the Carabao. It's the first one to come up. We've actually got a favourable draw. City are now out of it. So what do you think we're going to do? Rosie said, put all of our eggs into the Chelsea basket. Big up, Rosie. Pac-Man, you're in here, brother. What do you reckon we should do? Should we go strong against Inter? Or should we put all of our eggs into the Chelsea basket? Big up Pac-Man again. He says, even Cafu used to finish better back in the day. Bro. Let's just talk about Jesus for a minute and forget Havertz, yeah? Let's just talk about Jesus. Like, Adebayor was better than him. Ali Adair was probably better than him. Remember Ali Adair? Jeremy. Lacazette was better than him. I think Bentner's probably going to be more of a threat up front than Jesus. This is saying things. This is saying shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think anyone up front is better than Jesus right now. Anybody. Like, Pac-Man, you'd probably be better up front. Do you know what I mean? Big up Rosie again. 20 watching, 6 likes. Smash the like button, guys. I would appreciate that. The likes are relatively stinky. I see it in everyone's lives, though, to be honest with you. I'm not sure why that is. It is free. You don't have to subscribe, but a like does go a long way, people. So big yourself up. Pac-Man saying, got to be a strong team for both. Med staff needs to work overtime to get the recovery right for me, bro. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. I mean, like I said, we do need to turn the form around. That is 100%. We need to turn this form around, and a good win at the San Siro can do that. Will set us up very well for the Chelsea game. But I just don't know where it's going to come from. I've not seen enough from Arteta to think he's going to try anything different. But I'm just hoping that he does. But that's a good point. I mean, who's actually injured now? I think it's just Odegaard now, isn't it? I think Tomiyasu's still out. I'm not sure about Zinchenko. I'm not sure about the back line. Gabriel was back in the last game. Saliba's obviously done his ban now. I don't know if Ben White's injured again, but he came on against Newcastle. So if we've got a strong team, or if we've got most of our players back, and it's only really Odegaard that's out, then yeah, I can see your point. Play a strong team, try and get a result, and try and get us with some good momentum going into Chelsea. But for me personally, I just don't see Arteta doing enough. Like, I just don't know. His in-game management, are we going to set up to attack at the San Siro? I very much doubt it. Do you know what I mean? I think he's just going to go and stink it out again. Parking the flipping bus. So I don't see how we're going to score loads of goals. I predicted 0-0. But I'm hoping we can get a little 1-0. 1-0 to the Arsenal. That will send us into Chelsea on good momentum, I think. Because I don't think he's going to go bare gung-ho at the San Siro. So even if he does play a strong squad, I still think they're going to be defending. For me personally, I'd play the strongest squad I could without playing Saka. No, do you know what? I take that back. I take it back. I think it's better to go stronger against Chelsea. However, I don't think we've got a choice in who we field at the moment. Because the moment we start tinkering with the defence, it's spooky. The same for the midfield. Like three fridges in the midfield. Do you know what I mean? Just basketball players, no creativity. And up front is barren as well. So I don't think we've actually got a choice in terms of the team we can field. So I think he's going to field a strong team in both of them. Although I feel like the Chelsea game is more important. That's what I would try and do. But at the same time, in terms of options, I don't think there's much of a choice. Oh shit, we've been going for 70 minutes. All right, cool. So we're going to end it up, man. Before we go, yeah, man, give me your predictions, man. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to play a strong team? I think Rosie said 2-1. I'm not sure what Pac-Man said. I'm predicting 0-0. I think it's going to be a bit of a stinky game, or it's going to be 1-0 to either side. I don't know about the lineups. I'm going to have to keep my eye out for that. But yeah, we're going to end it there. Got to head out. Big yourself up, Rosie, each and every time. Love. If you can like on the way in or the way out, playback gang. If you come across the video, like up the video. What are we, Tuesday? We'll be back tomorrow, probably on NAF as well, around 10:30 p.m. So we'll see you again soon, people. Peace.